49ers against the Cardinals. Brock Purdy, Kyler Murray. Two interesting quarterbacks. Brock Purdy, the better quarterback. Kyler Murray, the QB who's, I think, been doing some nice things throwing the ball downfield this year. He's got a better receiver than he's had before, I would say, and Marvin Harrison Jr., at least a more promising receiver. They had DeAndre Hopkins in the past, and he delivered some good football for the Arizona Cardinals. But Marvin Harrison Jr., very, very exciting rookie for Arizona, and they're going to be coming to Levi's Stadium this weekend. We're going to be making a drive from the San Francisco Standard's office. Tim Kawakami and I just did the introductory live Q&A show. I'm going to get a video copy of that and post it later to the channel so you can go ahead and sign up. But it's 90 plus degrees here in San Francisco, and the car is going to take me all the way up to the Dolphin Club, where I will cool off in the San Francisco Bay. Here's the ceremonial first turn. Oh, this is a hairpin turn, man. All right, we did it. Good job. And now we talk about the 49ers. All right, so Kyler Murray on one side with an offense that is ranked number 10 in the league for the Arizona Cardinals. So the Cardinals, they've moved the ball this year, and I like some of their weapons. I like Trey McBride, the tight end. Obviously, we talk about Marvin Harrison Jr. James Conner, the running back, has given the 49ers trouble before. This is definitely a step up from the challenge that the New England Patriots presented the 49ers last week. Last week was a good get-right game for the 49ers defense, and we'll see if they did indeed get right. They played well against the Patriots, but New England was last in the league in passing yards on throws that traveled over 10 yards downfield. The Patriots were not a team that could threaten the 49ers secondary in any real kind of way. Now, they could threaten their run defense based on the heavy set run game that they brought to the table, and the 49ers passed that test, but Arizona can definitely challenge the 49ers in new ways. As opposed to the number 31, 32 offense in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals are the number 10 offense in the NFL. So they're going to definitely strain San Francisco in a way that we couldn't see last week. But on the other side of the football, things are not changing all too much. The Patriots weren't a great defense, and the Arizona Cardinals aren't a great defense. In fact, by EPA per play, the Cardinals rank number 30 defensively. They could not stop a nosebleed against the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels last week. They've struggled to stop anybody that they've played this year. Brock Purdy in 2 games against the Arizona Cardinals last season absolutely went off. I think they scored, the 49ers did, 45 points the most recent time that they played the Arizona Cardinals to clinch the NFC West on the road. The first time that Purdy played the Cardinals, he was 20 of 21. We talk about Jared Goff's perfect game yesterday at 18 for 18. Well, Brock Purdy might have been even better in that game against Arizona. He was 20 of 21. There was an incompletion there, but it wasn't a bad incompletion. It was more of a throwaway than anything on the deep out pattern coming off of pressure. So Purdy in week 4, that was around this time last season, I believe it was September 30th of the 2023 season, lit up Arizona in a perfect passer rating game. 158.3 was his passer rating. And then he turned around late in the season against the Arizona Cardinals and guided the 49ers to a 40-plus point effort. So this Cardinals defense, which is ranked number 30 in the league, has not shown any ability to stop Brock Purdy, and they have not shown any kind of improvement that would make people think that this year is going to be different in that regard. So that's important to keep in mind moving into this game. My biggest question is what 49ers defense will show up. I've long said that September is the preseason now in the NFL. That's been my theme for the past few weeks, and especially this past week. But the calendar has turned to October. This will be game number 5. If you count on a team to start to deliver according to what you would expect from that football team, now would be around that time. And I think that we saw the 49ers deliver defensively last week. And it was a nice ramp up. It was a get-right game. But the 49ers are in position right now to carry the improvement that they saw against the New England Patriots to a real opponent, to a real offense. And I think that in the larger picture of this season, as we gauge how the 49ers are going to improve and grow into form and really try to bid for a Super Bowl, this is a very necessary next step. In fact, I would go as far as to say that the next two games, which will come back to back because they play at Seattle the Thursday night following this game against Arizona, these next two games are going to set the tone for this 2024 season. If you look at September as a de facto preseason and as October as the first real true gauge of how a team is going to look once it congeals, once everything comes together, then these first two games of October are set up to be ultimate tone setters for the 49ers because they both come against divisional opponents. First the Cardinals, then the Seahawks. Now, Seattle, it's really interesting because they were the number one defense in the league through 3 weeks. They're no longer the number one defense in the league after they got absolutely torn apart by the Detroit Lions yesterday. Now, Seattle was missing essentially its entire starting front, most of its starting front seven. So there are explanations for why that happened, but I don't think that there are full explanations for why that happened. They didn't give up that single completion to Jared Goff. The Seahawks were about as bad defensively yesterday as the Arizona Cardinals have been bad defensively against Brock Purdy over the course of his career. And because of that, I'm not really sure what Seattle Seahawks team the 49ers are going to see the following Thursday. But I do know that they're a division rival, and I do think that they're the biggest challengers to the 49ers winning this NFC West. Now, the Cardinals obviously get something to say about that. The Rams, well, they did beat the 49ers, but that was an upset, and we shouldn't pretend that it was anything more than that. It was a September upset. I don't think that the Rams are serious challengers to win the West, at least given the current state of their roster. Maybe if Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp and some offensive linemen come back, we can view the Rams differently. But as of right now, the two favorites are the 49ers and the Seahawks, and we're trying to figure out what exactly the Cardinals are going to be able to do to support their offense. So far, it has not been enough because that Arizona defense has just totally dropped the ball. Number 30 in EPA per play so far. Anyway, as we make our way up the city, I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. I know this is the first look. I know that we're going to delve deeper into the tape over the course of this week. I think that we will definitely talk about the 49ers trying to defend a running quarterback this week because Kyler Murray has given them problems before. 2020's week one, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals came into Levi Stadium. It was DeAndre Hopkins who had a huge game to beat the 49ers. The defense couldn't get off the field for San Francisco in that game. So now we look at this 2024 season. Things look different, but Marvin Harrison Jr. is part of the Cardinals. 49ers, I would hope, are deeper at the defensive back position, but they have struggled to get off the field against prior opponents that can pass the football. So they do have to prove that things are different this time when they face the Arizona Cardinals. This is our customary route now. We've made it onto Van Ness, so we could look at City Hall here as we pass it on Van Ness and Grove Streets in central San Francisco. Somebody asked who's going to cover Harrison. Well, it depends on how much zone the 49ers run and how much man the 49ers run and how ready Charvarius Ward is to play. He looked a lot better against the Patriots. But again, he didn't face the same caliber of competition that the 49ers had been facing before. I think Deommodore Lenoir has clearly been the 49ers' best cornerback so far this year. So if you're running, but the thing is, Lenoir plays a different role than Charvarius Ward. So it all really depends on what you're running defensively, man or zone. And then it depends on what Lenoir would have to cover in the slot if that is his particular assignment on any given play, because he plays inside and outside for the 49ers. Now, Demo, he's playing with so much confidence and he's also playing with so much motivation, contract type of year. I think that he is absolutely a player that the 49ers can rely on in big spots this year just because of the mindset that he's in, the growth that he's taken. And let's not kid ourselves. Charvarius Ward was an all-pro last season for the 49ers, and I'm sure he'll play his way back into form. He had a knee issue. He had a hamstring issue. When you talk about covering Harrison, I think both of these guys can do it. And I think that it's going to have to be a cornerback job. You can't have safeties trying to cover Marvin Harrison. The reason that I say that is because 49ers made a tremendous schematic error when they played the Minnesota Vikings, and they tried to have two safeties cover Justin Jefferson. And I think to few people's surprise, it didn't work. And that was the 97-yard touchdown for Jefferson. I'm not saying that Harrison is in Jefferson's category yet, but I do think that you should put a cornerback on him at all times. And I think that's something that could ensure that the 49ers stifle the production the way that they want to. Nothing here is going to matter if they cannot slow down the run. And they did last week. And you have to credit that entire defensive line, because it wasn't just Nick Bosa. It wasn't just Leonard Floyd. It was Malik Collins. It was Jordan Elliott, who is day-to-day. So there's a chance that he's back this week. It was Evan Anderson. It was Yetur Gross-Matos. So there were so many names that delivered for the 49ers in a game against the run-heavy team that set them up to rush the passer. The best stat from last week for the 49ers defensively was that Nick Bosa averaged 0.51 seconds on his get-off, which was the fastest time that NFL Next Gen Stats has logged over the course of the past 7 years. That meant that Nick Bosa was pinning his ears back. That meant that he was ready to fire off the line of scrimmage as soon as the snap happened. And that only is something that Bosa can do if he's not thinking twice about the opponent's ability to run. If he's thinking that the opponents are going to take off on him in a run game fashion, then he's going to be a little bit on his heels. He's not going to be able to pin his ears back and be on his toes to go after the quarterback. So you have to stop the run to have some fun. The 49ers did not do that in weeks 2 and week 3. They didn't do it well enough down the stretch of last season, but they did it well enough against the Patriots, and you saw the corresponding get-off times from Nick Bosa. So same kind of situation here. James Conner, really good running back. 49ers, I mean, he's a load. Big upright runner, physical runner. 49ers are going to have to step up in a way that they probably even last week would not have required against James Conner in Arizona. And then on top of that, when the 49ers are rushing the passer against Kyler Murray, contained pockets are going to have to be very, very emphasized in this game. Because Kyler Murray, if he can escape, he will very quickly become the top rusher for the Arizona Cardinals, even if they slow down James Conner. So that's the wrinkle that a mobile quarterback adds to the mix here. You start with stopping the standard ground game, but then just because you stop that, when you have somebody like Kyler Murray who's in a drop back passing situation and he's forced into it, you can't just stop the rushing focus then if you're the defense. You have to make sure that all those escape hatches from the pocket are sealed, because Kyler Murray can hurt you with his legs. Some 49ers news. Mike just texted me. They have released Shaquille Brown, the defensive tackle, from their practice squad. Shaquille had been with the team for about the past week on the practice squad. They brought him back after he was with them over the course of the preseason. Originally a tryout signing for the 49ers in the offseason. Shaquille Brown gave him some good snaps over the course of the preseason. And then they brought him back because they said, hey, we need some defensive tackle depth. But I think that Shaquille Brown being released in the practice squad is a good sign about Jordan Elliott's potential availability moving forward from the knee injury. He currently is listed as day-to-day. The 49ers now have 2 spots open on their practice squad. They already had 1 spot open before this, and they have 1 spot open on the 53-man roster. Shaquille Brown's release also might mean that Kalia Davis is indeed going to be activated for his practice window at the very least tomorrow, and they don't need another defensive tackle in that room, so they cleared some room with Shaquille Brown being released. In fact, that's probably the most likely scenario of what's going on here. Kyle Shanahan said that it was likely that the 49ers would activate Kalia Davis this week, or at least for the practice. They don't have to activate him yet to the 53-man roster as he comes back from a knee injury, and it does appear that that will be likely. Somebody asked me if Darrell Luter Jr. has been a disappointment. No. We didn't expect Darrell Luter Jr. to play this year all too much unless the 49ers had injuries. Darrell Luter Jr. is waiting for his opportunity, which the 49ers, to be honest, hope doesn't come until next season. They've got a lot of veteran cornerbacks under one-year contracts right now. Deommodore Lenoir, Charvarius Ward, Isaac Yadam. The future is Renardo Green, who's been working his way into the mix for the 49ers. And the future is Darrell Luter Jr., who's also been working his way into the mix for the 49ers. But he's just so far down the depth chart at this point, even though he's on the 53-man roster, that barring injuries, he's not going to see a lot of playing time. And that's why I say the 49ers don't want to see him this year, because they don't want to see injuries happen to their more veteran, more ready guys. So nothing disappointing from Darrell Luter Jr. That had been the plan. 49ers are executing the plan for him as this season progresses. All right, we're about to make the climb up Russian Hill. Let's take a look at the turn. Here it comes. And there's another driverless car. Awesome. Looks like we're taking the same route as yesterday, or was it 2 days ago? Yeah, yesterday. Yesterday I got a swim in, and then I went and watched the Seahawks just get absolutely roasted by the Detroit Lions. You know, this Crunch Fitness, you'll see right here, this used to be the Alhambra Theater, and they kept the decoration out there. That is now a gym. San Francisco specializes in that kind of stuff, converting old movie theaters to workout spaces. There's even an old stock exchange in downtown San Francisco that is now an Equinox gym. Yesterday, I didn't point it out, but today I think I could point it out. The restaurant here on the corner, it's called Amarena, some of the best pasta in San Francisco. So that's one you should definitely check out. Here we go. I used to live on this street. Larkin, there's Amarena. Really, really nice spot. All right, our climb continues. We should be making a left turn here onto Hyde. We'll go through Restaurant Row. I'm feeling a little tired. I'd love some Turkish coffee ice cream. That would be really, really good. Look, it's a cable car. An old red cable car. United Railroads. Transamerica Pyramid advertising on the cable car. Transamerica Pyramid is reopening with a rooftop bar. I wonder when that specifically opens. That's going to be a lot of fun. And here we go. Right up Hyde Street. Right by, first Bacchus Wine Bar, good spot. And then Swenson's Ice Cream. Turkish coffee ice cream. Hopefully everybody gets the joy of the driverless car ride through this experience. All right, I'm ready for some more questions. I just got another Luter disappointment question. I already answered that one. How do I think that Wilkes' defense compares to Sorensen's? Last year's defense was not great. It definitely wasn't great. I think that we still need to see Sorensen coordinate here for a few more games to truly get a feel of what he's going to bring to the table. Made some adjustments to cover 4 in the past game against the Patriots, but I need to see the defense against a better quarterback, better receivers, because they didn't look good the week prior against the Rams. Against the better quarterback, but against some shady supporting cast for the Rams. So the identity is going to start to crystallize for the 49ers defense in October. I want people to remember that DeMeco Ryans' defense didn't look good through about 8 or 9 weeks. Then they turned it on in the back half of that season. I think you're going to expect similar things from the 49ers. Steph Curry jersey, a look down Lombard Street, and a look ahead to the water. We're going to be there in 4 minutes. Maybe today I can give you guys a little bit of a look at the bay. Although I'm really hot outside today. It's like 90 plus degrees, and I know I'm in the blazer, but just look at this perfect San Francisco afternoon. See the bridge and the park. Alcatraz. Maybe we could swim out there today. The water looks nice today. It's going to wake me up. It's going to give me that energy boost that I need. Mike asks, do we expect to see Dre Greenlaw play by the bye week? I would say after the bye week. I would predict, too, for Christian McCaffrey after the bye week comes back. I think Christian's doing well. In fact, I can say that Christian is doing well. And I'm not going to get involved in all that clickbait reporting because I'd rather be right. I actually have a connection, right? I have multiple connections. But in the case of Christian McCaffrey, it has been absolutely ridiculous online. People who are not connected, thinking that they're doctors, pretending that they're doctors. And it's just laughable seeing how wrong they are with every single update. And I'll just leave it at that for Christian McCaffrey. Be careful who you get your news from. Make sure that it's actually somebody who knows football and has ties in the 49ers building. It's been bad. It has been bad out there with the whole Christian McCaffrey situation. So now more than ever, be cautious. I'm almost at the Dolphin Club. I'm ready for a few more questions. Let's hit it. Will Pearsall be returning punts this Sunday? I highly doubt it. They might open Pearsall's practice window, but that doesn't mean you have... Well, he's definitely not going to be returning punts this Sunday because... Well, actually, he can come back, right? Yeah, he can come back. This is week 4. But he won't be back this week. I think he might be back at practice. I would not expect Ricky Pearsall as we pass a cable car. That's cool. I would not expect Ricky Pearsall to be back in game action yet for the 49ers. Update on Kyle Juszczyk's shoulder. Kyle Juszczyk is day to day for the 49ers right now. We've got a guy taking a picture of our driverless car. That always happens. By the way, we got to check out the Buena Vista. There you go. The Buena Vista is where you've got Irish coffees. They served, or maybe sold, the first Irish coffees in Mass. Good spot.
Almost there. Don't forget your phone, keys, or bag.
Here we come up on the Dolphin Club and the South End Rowing Club. Both clubs next to each other. We just have tourists taking pictures of us. That's great. Maybe they don't know maybe they know we're doing a 49ers show. We'll take this right on this beautiful 90-degree day all the way up to the club. I'm trying to get this to take me a little bit further, but I guess we're gonna get out here.
Make sure it's clear.
You guys want to see how nice of a day it is at the beach today? Why don't you stay with me here? Person approaching. Oh, this guy right here, the runner. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna stay on here, show you guys some of this area. Even though I'm burning up, it's gonna be 90 degrees. So hold on for 1 second. Can't forget my bag, which is in the back. All right, time to close this door. You can say goodbye to the car. It should start driving away right now. Maybe, theoretically. There it goes. It locked the doors. And the car is gone. All right, so now I'm gonna walk by the Dolphin Club, which you see right here. We can even go inside the Dolphin Club in a little bit. It's definitely a little cooler here than where I came from because we're by the water. But it is close to 90 degrees in most of the city. Probably like 85 here. There we are. And here you go. The beach is filled with people. Looking nice as we head out to the Golden Gate Bridge. All right, now I'll give you guys a look inside here. And then we'll end the show because I don't want to be talking inside, but quick look. You can see all the boats. Look at this. Beautiful woodwork. Yes, I'm gonna swim. I'm just being quiet right now because I'm in the club. The Dolphin Swimming and Boating Club. Look at the history of this place. All right, guys, it's really bright in here. We'll talk to everybody soon.